Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of What's Happening. I'm George Binns, and I'm here with my co-host, Gail Burke. And we have as our guest this evening, Judith Cronin, the Executive Director of the Greater Beverly YMCA. Welcome, Judith.
Thank you.
Things have been getting busy over there these days, and you're putting in another edition. So, a little background history. When did the Sterling Center open? That's been there.
The Sterling Center is over 60 years has been there. The property was donated by Lester O. Sterling, and the YMCA in Beverly, the Cabot Y, is actually over 150 years old. So we've been around for a little bit of time.
And then the next edition was the Teen Center that you put in.
So on the Sterling campus right now, we have the main building and then the Douglas Stevens Teen Center. And then, of course, as part of the Greater Beverly Y, there's the Cabot Street Y, as well as the Miles McPherson Youth Center on McPherson Drive.
So how long ago did the Teen Center go in?
We celebrated 12 years this year that the Douglas Stevens Teen Center has been there. So it's, can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
But we used to be located on the Cummings property at the Balch Street entrance area.
Yeah, they used to have a piece over there.
Yeah.
They built a garage in this place, I think.
That's right.
So now you're going to put another edition on. Big operations, about $7 million program. It's going to be an addition on the front. Could we have the picture up of the aerial view while we're talking about it? So the addition on the front of the building is already sort of started. I noticed they tore up the front yard. Yeah, there it is. And they've got a wooden ramp going up there. I guess it'll be open in a day or two. And then the other building that you can see in the upper top of the picture, that's where the sort of I guess, how would you describe that section?
The new building?
Yeah.
The new building is an education center. So it's a separate and distinct building where the other expansion is in addition to the main building.
Yeah.
So the education center will house our early childhood education students, I call them, but it's infants through preschool. We are going to repurpose the old child care center, which is half of the Douglas Stevens Teen Center, to just a preschool. And then in the new building, the first floor will be our infants and toddlers, and the second floor will be dedicated to academic achievement, which is for out-of-school time, whether it be during the school year, so it's our after-school program, or even during the summer where we run a lot of summer literacy programs and camp programs for kids in school age. So the first floor will be year-round dedicated to our child care program.
Now, is the preschool available to people who are not members of the Y?
In fact, we like to think of ourselves as very high quality but very affordable childcare for individuals who might not have the ability to access early learning. The Y is committed to what is known in society as narrowing the achievement gap. Our research indicates that children from economically disadvantaged homes typically don't have access to early learning, which would be anything from early child care from an infant to up to preschool education. Just because they can't access it, it's not free typically. It usually costs quite a bit of money in a private child care setting or a preschool setting. So what the Y is able to do is to provide access to those that typically could not afford it, because we accept state-funded child care vouchers, which would qualify for our early learning program, as well as the Y offers its own financial assistance program for those that are income qualified for that. So children that might not have been able to access early learning prior to kindergarten now have that chance at the Y, and that's why we're running out of capacity, quite frankly, because our ability to serve those who typically would not have access is overflowing, and we just need more slots for those children, as well as those children who are full pay who enjoy our amenities in our preschool and early learning program that many don't have, which are swimming. You typically can't get a swim lesson when you're in preschool. Yeah. We also have full access to our child care, to our gymnastics center, as well as all of our gymnasiums. So we'd like to think of those as enrichment experiences within the child care or early learning setting. So it's very high quality, very diverse, very enriching experience for children from all backgrounds.
Now, do the teachers, are they certified teachers? Are they full-time?
Yep, some of them are full-time, some of them are part-time. They all are trained in early education, and we have certified full-time teachers that are continually getting their extra credits and constantly going back to school and getting additional certifications. So we have full-time teachers of that capacity, we have part-time teachers of that capacity, and then we also have enrichment experiences for some of the kids from Beverly High School that come in and help us during vacations to allow some of our teachers to go on breaks. They come in for short periods of time, and we hired college students in the summertime to fill those gaps too, but our primary staff is highly trained educators.
Do you take interns from the high school?
We have taken children that have offered to come during the school year. Sometimes those opportunities are a little less available because of our teaching staff typically doesn't take vacations during the school year. Some of them take vacations during the summer, so we have much more opportunity. But we've been able to give experiences to kids from the high school as well as from college on break to be able, for those that are interested in early education.
Yeah, notice I'm used to the exercise floor kind of thing, and there's a continual traffic in interns coming from different colleges up through there. I was wondering how far does this go in the system?
We are happy to provide learning opportunities for any student who is interested in health and well-being and education. We have, right now in the Y, we have about 600 part-time people just in the greater Beverly Ys between our facilities. So there's plenty of opportunity for volunteerism as well as taking internships. And we have quite a few from Endicott and Gordon College who are in sports management that are interested in working on the fitness floor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how do you handle special ed children?
We have special adaptive programming for special needs students. We have recreational programming as well as learning experiences for them. We have an entire adaptive program that integrates special needs students into everything that we have to offer. In our early education situation, we have students that have aides that come in, funded by their parents, come in and help the students do various things, but they're taken into account in our early education programs as well.
So the addition to the main building, that's going to expand a lot of the fitness floor. It's going to expand the therapy, Bay State therapy. Is this going to be new stuff? I guess what I'm trying to unravel is how much is going to be brand new stuff that you never did before, as opposed to we got just more demand, we just need more space.
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. It can be broken down into a couple of different parts, the expansion. First, the Y considers itself the community center for Beverly. So what we were losing was community gathering space. People come to the Y because they see their friends, they have their family memberships, so they bring their entire family. And what we were learning is that the space to accommodate people to just gather, get to talk with their neighbors, catch up over a cup of coffee just wasn't adequate. A lot of people join the Y because their community is there. So the first part was to make that membership experience a little bit more relaxing and spacious for the people that are members of the Y. Secondly, we have a lot of families that are members of the Y, and they're very active, and they, as a family unit, require a little bit more space, especially when it comes to locker rooms. So we have doubled the size of our family locker room to enable families as well as individuals with special needs that have a mixed gender, a female with a male that's helping them. They need that private space, not in the adult female locker room or in the adult male locker room. We've built many changing spaces that are private. And then also with families, we have babysitting service for our members so they can go and pursue their health and wellness goals and leave their children as part of their membership in our babysitting kids club. And we're making that twice the size that it is right now. We have a lot of children that we take care of in the course of a day, and we're trying to make our kids club better in the respect of putting age-appropriate spaces. So the infants, even though they're separated now in our kids club, there really isn't an adequate space for them, separate from the kids that are toddlers, separate from the kids that are up to 6 to 7 years old.
Now, is the babysitting service, is that extra?
No, that's part of your
Part of your
membership. Yep. So as long as you stay in the building, you're able to leave your children with our babysitting service for 2 hours. So we've even seen some parents come in, put their children in our babysitting and go and read a book in our lobby just to get a little quiet time, which we encourage. So we really like to see that.
Could you put up the picture of the addition to the main building? You know, that idea, I guess you started it about a year ago, where you broke up some of the corridor outside where your office is, and you put in that family dressing area. Because it used to be awkward, I noticed, when fathers would bring their girls into the boys' dressing room and converse. And everybody's just a little nervous about it. That was a great innovation to just take a separate area, families only.
Right.
And you can, I've never been in this, I have no idea what it is. But, you know.
Well, we're finding that people are enjoying that space a little bit more than even some of our regular locker rooms because of the private changing spaces. Our locker rooms give a certain amount of privacy, but the ones in the family locker room have a separate door where you can put your whole family in there and not have any child escape and get everybody changed into their suits and off you go. So I agree. I think some moms with young boys were having difficulty bringing them into the girls' locker room and then going into the boys' locker room. They felt uncomfortable. So this is a nice solution for everyone concerned. I mean, even adults that are caregivers really prefer the family locker room.
Yeah, it works out much better than...
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the word book, and I have a complaint.
Okay.
I'm a member of the water aerobics class at 8 o'clock. And usually after we do our exercises, we come out, we sit in the lobby. I know you've seen us out there. And a few months ago, I came in and I had some books. And I looked over to the left, the bookcase was gone.
Right, right.
So some of the other women said, why did they take the bookcase away? And I said, well, I really don't know. I'll have to find out. So I'm asking you, why did you take it away, and how are you going to replace it?
It's actually moved. It's moved. It's underneath the monitor, the video monitor, at the other end where the couches are.
Okay.
And the reason, there was a very good reason we had to move it. First of all, it was a little too rickety, and our child care and all of our licensing requires the bookshelves to be nailed to the wall so they don't tip on our littlest ones. And that wall was the cement block wall, so we moved it to the drywall, and we bought a new one. But there aren't any books in it, so please bring your books back.
I will, and I will tell all my friends the same thing.
Yes, please populate that book, because it was a nice book swap, and that gets at the community piece I was talking about, is people just like to linger, maybe pick up a book, read, meet a new friend. So I think in our new building, we're going to be able to serve so many more people with reading circles in the cafe, having coffee. Sometimes we have members that have a group that they walk off to another coffee shop because there's more space, and we would prefer everyone to stay and congregate in our building.
Very good.
Could we have the third picture up, please? The floor plan. Oh, that ain't the floor plan.
The floor plan.
I don't have, okay. All right, we'll go take it from there. Well, basically, I guess up in the exercise area, where, fitness area where I hang out most of the time, there's going to be a change to the spinning. That's probably the major innovation of it, with the glass wall out front so that people on their bikes think they're going someplace, I think. But at the same time, it's, I guess that's one of the major exercise areas for the Y, is that spinning program. Because every time I talk to somebody about it, I say, well, I didn't get into the class this time because I didn't call in and book a seat quick enough.
Sure.
So how much bigger is it going to be?
The spinning studio, as well, you're very familiar with it. Where it's located is not allowing us to make it really bigger, but we are going to gain probably another 10 to 15 feet where the door is. We're moving the door out. So that's going to be
Taking away the
improvement.
stretching room.
And then we're going to have the stretching area in our new expanded space, which is going to be much different. The fitness center is going to look much different. It's going to have a lot of natural light. Right now, we don't have natural light. We have a building-locked fitness center, so we're really excited about having the natural light coming in, as well as adding 3,600 square feet of fitness space. So that will be on the second floor, obviously. What we talked about earlier, the family locker room and the kids club and the new community space is going to be on the first floor. So the new fitness space will allow us to expand some of our chronic disease programming, which a lot of people don't know that we do. Most people think we just have a fitness center, but we have programming, for an example, a Live Strong program, which is free to the community, free to our members, free to the community, which is supported by our donors, which is for people in recovery from cancer to what we like to think of as get their life back. They get their self-esteem, their confidence, their physical shape back, as well as meet others that are in a similar situation in a nice social environment where they can exchange stories and then spend some time working out with a personal trainer. So our Live Strong program is very successful. We also have a diabetes prevention program that, again, is subsidized by donors and foundations to help those that are on the track for type 2 diabetes to really change their behavior in a nutritional way as well as in a physical activity way. So that's another great program that the Y offers.
Now, is that just for adults, or is that include?
That's adults. But we also have childhood obesity initiatives where we're introducing a program that's known across the national wide as Healthy Weight in Your Child, which is actually a family-based program. So it requires the family to participate with the child who may have some weight issues that need to get under control. And we're just kicking that program off as well. So all of these individualized programs, we wanted some additional space to be able to give people the privacy that they deserve around some of these sensitive issues that they may not feel they would like to be thrown into an open fitness center about. So this new space will allow us to section off some spaces to really give those folks in those specialized programs the added attention and privacy that they deserve. So that's a really great part of this new expansion for our fitness.
You know, one of the things I stumbled into, we had a discussion with Brett Farrell about the Bay State, and there's a lot of people that go through that as for physical therapy, and today I discovered you've got this little program where somebody who goes into physical therapy, and they use the word discharge, but Lee didn't like discharge. She preferred to call them graduate from physical therapy.
Yeah.
And they get 2 free weeks at the Y to get into a continuing program because I just had a hip replaced, so I just went through this exercise.
Yeah.
And I know what the routine is. You get to the point where they say, okay, you either ran out of insurance or you're as good as we can make you, but you got a lot of time to go before you're going to get back. And if you don't have a facility like the Y to work it, and you just left it, well, I'll go for a long walk, or maybe I'll try jogging. And you don't have that reinforcement that you get. And the neat thing about the Bay State and the coordination between the Y and the Bay State is, if you're not, I don't feel that worked out too well, you go right back in there and says, hey, what happened? What should I do different? And they're very, very accommodating.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interaction between the two that I don't think you normally get if you go to the local gym or something like that, or hang out at the high school.
Right. They've been a great partner with us, and they will be getting expanded space in our new expansion. So Brett's really excited about that. And they use, which is great for the Y, great for Bay State, they use our equipment. So all of their patients get acclimated into using the equipment while they're in the therapy, and then if they decide to use the 2-week free pass or they decide to join the Y, they don't have that sense of entering a space that they're unfamiliar with. They feel like they know what they're doing, because what we find is most of our population, we like to think of them as health seekers. They're not people that are typically all about fitness and make their day around their fitness appointments. They're more wanting to get healthier, or they've been told to get healthier.
Yeah.
It can be quite intimidating to go into a fitness center not knowing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And at the Y, we like to think of ourselves as a community of people that welcome all, and we don't have that intimidation factor. You can come with a friend. We typically have bring a friend passes. We have free 2-week passes to have people just come with their friends, so they don't feel that they're so isolated trying to figure out things on their own. But I think anyone that comes to the Y will admit that they at least know one person when they come in the door, because with 11,000 members, you're bound to know somebody.
It's a community. Like you said, it's a community access space. And I think the staff my experience with them is they're very helpful. This is how you run this machine. You turn it on here and you do this over there. And you see a lot of people walk in and what on earth is that thing? And you think the joke I like to use is a lot of the stuff looks like it's from a yard sale at Abu Ghraib or something like that. But after a while you get into it, and I have some complaints about, you took away my good machine, brought in this other one, and it takes a while to get used to it again. But I think that's where the staff has to step up and say, well, it's as good as the last one, or it's better than the last one because.
And we'll see a lot of new equipment with the expansion, which will be great.
More rowing machines?
We're going to get more rowing machines. That's been a request, definitely.
Yeah.
And more rowing machines, more space, more stretching area. And there's a separate area for functional training, which is really becoming very popular in fitness right now, which is individualized training with small pieces of equipment, not big machines, so medicine balls, hand weights, TRXs. And again, that's going to be an entirely dedicated area for that. So we're really excited about the possibilities, especially since the Y gives access to everyone who would like to join the Y because of our financial assistance program. We want to have the square footage to be able to serve all of those who want to go on a path of wellness. Right now, we do serve everyone, but I think for you as members, you probably feel that it's a little bit close sometimes upstairs in the fitness center.
I don't get up there very often.
You're in the pool. That's
I'm
a nice.
in the pool.
We have quite a bit of water, so we don't have to worry about the pool.
At times I think you're trying to turn that fitness center into a machine demonstration area.
There's so many. So many pieces of equipment. There really are.
There needs to be a little more space for the people, I think.
We agree, and that's why we're making the space. And I don't believe we will have too many ads of equipment. I think we have enough pieces. We'll probably turn over most of it to get brand new pieces. But I was looking at a floor plan the other day, and we want more space for the people. We want more space for the small group specialized programs. And we want more space to be able to have that comfort level between all of the machinery and still have your own personal space. I think we're going to achieve all of that with our expansion and really give the community really what it deserves.
Why did you change the name of the YMCA to just the Y? I've been asked that question
Oh, that's
a number
interesting.
of times.
Well, our official 501c3 name is still the Young Men's Christian Association, as a matter of fact. So the acronym YMCA is still very much known in the country.
Right.
The Y went through a major rebranding effort about, I think it was probably 6 years ago now. Believe it or not, there's 2,700 Ys in the country, and when you looked at the way with which the Ys gave their profile out into their communities, everyone looked a little bit different. We don't report up to a national YMCA. There is a national YMCA, but we're just a dues-paying organization. All local Ys, all 2,700, are run independently from their boards of directors. So decisions are made at the board of director level to say, oh, we want our branding to look like this, and somebody else wants it to look differently. And then all of a sudden, the Y was not recognizable by any type of logo because there were so many different logos. So the YUSA, the national organization, made a determination that they had to revamp the entire brand to be able to have the Y be as identifiable as, say, the swoosh on Nike. So that's why the Y itself became the brand, because everyone sort of converged on that one idea that the Y needed to be recognizable as the Y, rather than Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA, or any permutations from that. So it was probably a 3-year effort to rebrand the nationwide Y example, but it's an easier way to remember the Y. And the is very important. That's part of the brand. So the little the that's in front of the Y is really part of our brand as well. So it was the national organization.
YWCA?
There is. It's a different organization than the YMCA, but there definitely is. I believe there's one in Newburyport and one in Boston.
So they're not rolled into your...
Nope, it's separate.
Totally,
separate organization.
Separate.
Yep.
Were they always separate?
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
remember they had 2 separate buildings and...
Yep.
Yeah, I remember the different buildings, and there weren't that many of them around.
No. But the classic one was down in Boston where the YWCA used to be a boarding house, I guess, for a lot of college students going to the big city schools. So, yeah. But it's a big program, and it's expanding all over the place, and I guess we're getting some of our own expansion locally, and it's more of the situation, I think, where people are starting to recognize that you got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And you got to keep your blood pressure up, otherwise you go comatose.
Right.
And so I think, crude and rude as it sounds, that's what it comes down to, that if you don't keep moving.
Well, we're almost at the end of our time. So is there anything that you'd like to say to the community?
Sure.
To give further information?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There is, obviously, the building program is expensive. It's about a $7.5 million project. We are, as a nonprofit, raising funds to support this expansion. So right now we're about at $4.1 million. We've been raising funds for about 12 months. But we're still raising funds, and we're raising enough money, hopefully, to cover whatever we have to borrow to make up the difference. The community can learn more about the project, as well as, if they are so inclined, make a gift to the program at buildingforcommunity.org. We're really excited to be able to offer a website that's robust with information for the community, but also a way in which the community can contribute to help us to get our goal. And we are officially having a ceremonial groundbreaking that the community is welcome to on April 24th at 10:30 at the Sterling campus. We'd love to see people come and just check out what we're going to do.
Well, it's all very exciting, and I think the community really benefits from everything that you offer. We want to thank you very much for coming on the show, Judy.
My pleasure.
Sorry, Mother.
She'll appreciate that.
But, and I know that we've had Brett on here twice. Was he on here twice?
Just once.
Just once? Okay.
We're going to try to get him back again.
Yeah.
Talk about his
Yeah, he does great work.
expansion.
Yeah.
Does great
But I know
work.
from my own experience that, it's a very exciting place.
Thank you.
Again, we thank you for coming on. And thank you to our viewers for watching our show. And we hope you'll be with us next time. Good night.